this is an opportunity, whether you're a teacher or not, or you just simply are curious about the classroom and how to involve storytelling. With me is Jan C. Smith, and she happens to be a storyteller, a story teacher, and I'm excited that on Thursday, May 16th, 2024, at 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we will have a chance to delve into tips and tricks. It is through Zoom, but it is free and open to anybody. If you have already registered for the Story Crossroads Summit and Festival, you have the Zoom link. But since this is one of our outreaches, you can email us at info@storycrossroads.org, and we will gladly share that Zoom link because it's meant to be shared with anyone. So if you're suddenly hearing this and you're like, oh, so-and-so needs to know, so-and-so needs to know, I need to know, then we are happy to do it. But let's now talk with Jan. Now, Jan, you've been a storyteller and a teacher. Which came first, unless it was at the same time? But tell me more about this journey between the two.
Okay, this is my experience, and I trained in college. I majored in speech and drama in college, and I got a certificate in elementary and secondary ed. First in my life, I was a drama teacher. I directed plays in high school. Many, many years later, second part of my life, I became a literacy teacher in a Title I school. Well, back in the day, you needed to get classes to recertify. I looked at some classes I could take to recertify. And the class I could take at BYU for the summer was storytelling. I could do it in 1 week. I decided 1 week I could do that. I live in Salt Lake. I could drive to Provo every day and take this class. And as soon as I took the class, I was just on fire about storytelling. And it really informed a lot of the work I did with the students. I could use it to teach a concept. I could use it as a reward. I found numerous ways I could use storytelling. So that one class opened my eyes. That's my story.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, so they kind of blended in. I had a feeling that they kind of blended in
They
together.
did. They
And
did.
so then when you started teaching, did you naturally use stories, or was it very purposeful? I'm just curious about how that happened.
Well, one thing, I had a lot of kids that were second language speakers.
Mm.
So sometimes I found to have them understand a word, I would kind of tell a little story snippet, and it was pretty effective. And then kids would say, "Well, tell us that again." And really, it wasn't a story; it was just some little snippet that I could share with them. And the one little student loved this story I told. She had the word surprise. And I said, "Do you know what surprise means?" She's like, "No, I don't." And so I told her about this little part on Sesame Street. Back in the day in Sesame Street, they had a little baby in a crib, and the mother tucks the baby into bed, and then the mother comes out of the room, and then the lights go on, and the baby stands up in the crib, and it's like the baby sings out, "I'm a baby, goo goo gaga," and the baby, it's a surprise. No one expects the baby to do that. And so after I explained that, the one day, every day the girl would say, how about telling about the baby again? So that was good. Another thing I did, I had one student who had a real struggle learning to read, fourth grader, second language speaker, and he liked scary stories. It was around Halloween time, and he loved little scary stories. And so I told him, once you get to a certain level on these stories, I'll reward you. I'll come to your class and I'll tell a scary story, which I did. And he was a little celebrity because someone came to his class and told a story for him because he had met a goal. And then he came back and told me a lot of strange and scary stories from his family. I wrote them down, but really they were kind of upsetting. Anyway, I mean, that is the power of a story. People are, that is, you just don't know it until you're a part of it. And then I think most teachers need to realize they're all storytellers. They might not be performing on a stage, but they're a storyteller every single day when they get in front of their class. They're a storyteller.
Right. Their classroom is their stage.
It
And
is.
and
It
if
is.
you're a storyteller, I think you can still gain some things from this, maybe even just a perspective of a teacher who is
Sure.
trying to blend this. So this is wonderful. Spread the word about it. Again, if you have a ticket with our summit and festival, which you can go to storycrossroads.org/festival, you, upon registration, will have the Zoom link. But this is a free outreach as part of this summit and festival. If you email us at info@storycrossroads.org, we will get you that Zoom link. Even if you suddenly forget and it's really close to the moment, we are monitoring and making sure that it will happen for you. So when is that again? It is Thursday, May 16th from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So please convert that to any time zone depending on where you may be. And it'll be a great time. You'll be able to learn more tips and tricks. You got a hint right now, and you can ask questions, and until we tell again.
See you Thursday.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude for funding from the National Endowment for the Arts, National Endowment for the Humanities, Western States Arts Federation, Utah Division of Arts and Museums, Utah Legislature, Utah Humanities, City of Murray, Zoo Arts and Parks of Salt Lake County, ZAP, Salt Lake City Arts Council, and individuals like you.